Welcome back. For this Flatirons tuning tech tip, we're back here with our 2003 WRX Project car. And as we had said in our last installment of the AOS versus catch can series, the next step for us on this car was to put on an air oil separator. And that's what we've done. We've put on this radium air oil separator. And what we're going to talk about in this video, as we're putting it on, one of the decisions that we had to make is what configuration are we going to put it on the car? Is it going to be recirc, basically to kind of mirror the factory PCV system, or are we going to put it on with an atmospheric dump? And so we wanted to kind of go into some detail as far as, the decision that we made for this car compared to the decision that we made for the Pikes Peak race car. But before we do that, it has been a little bit of time since the last video, and wanted to give you a little bit of an update as far as why. So after that last video, it's bordering on an obsession, but basically, we're wondering what's going on, or I'm wondering what's going on with the PCV system and what's going on with the crankcase pressure, and realized that the oil filler cap might be a really good window into crankcase pressure and what's going on. So what I realized was if I put a fitting on the oil filler cap and ran that to something like a boost gauge, which I happen to have an extra one, that would show positive and negative pressure, it would give a window into what is happening in that crankcase. So change the PCV system back to stock and just put on some miles with the factory PCV system and watching crankcase pressure to get a sense of what's going on. So once kind of felt like I'd seen what I was going to see with that, then that's where we went and put on the Air Oil Separator. Now, as far as the AOS goes, we have an IAG Air Oil Separator on the Pikes Peak car, and we're very happy with that. But we've already done it, we've installed it, we're familiar with it, and if we put another one on this car, we wouldn't really figure anything new out, wouldn't learn anything. So we wanted to find another manufacturer of AOS to try on this car. And in looking around, what we found was the radium. So what we liked about that is some aspects of the design of the can itself. Really like the design of the baffling. Interestingly, they have what they call moisture trap at the bottom, which if you're going to collect some amount of liquid oil, water would settle to the bottom, and they've got a little trap there for that, which is interesting. Hopefully prevent water from getting back into the oil. And they're basically contained all the coolant to that bottom section. To if you're going to heat up the can, they're making sure that they're heating up just the bottom where, in theory that water would be. So that's a pretty appealing design. And in addition, the thing that we liked about the radium can was they further simplified the PCV system. Whereas the IAG can basically mirrors the factory PCV system as far as all of the connections are accounted for, in and out of their can. Radium simplified it. So there's only two inlets, which are both valve covers. So basically one channel that goes in, and then the return is just the top of the factory Air Oil Separator. So it's even further simplified from the factory PCV system. So that simplicity was an appealing fact. We wanted to see how it worked in real life. So that's what we did. So we've installed this on the car. Now, a couple notes that we learned. One, if you have a 2-liter WRX like I do, and you're looking for install instructions, they are hard to come by for this car. And as we started to put this on, kind of got a really good sense as far as why. It comes down to this guy. This is the cruise control actuator, which is on the passenger side strut tower bar, or strut tower. Now, if you have a time-mounted intercooler and you're going to try and install a large air oil separator can, there's basically one place under the hood that it will fit, which also happens to be the passenger side strut tower. So what we realized very quickly was that it would be extremely difficult, next to impossible, to install an AOS and retain the factory cruise control system. You could probably do it. We probably could have made it work by significantly modifying the factory mounting bracket or making a new bracket, and dropping it down lower to give us the real estate that we needed to plumb this. But very quickly, in trying to get everything to fit, we realized, well, our life is going to be way easier if we just remove this. I don't use cruise control very often at all anyway, and it's about 2 pounds of weight savings. So, well, here it is. The other thing that I'll just throw out there as a note, if you have a car with a time-mounted intercooler and you want to install an AOS, be aware that there's going to be a lot going on underneath the intercooler. Mainly because the AOS is going to use most all of the AOSs that we looked at use the top of the factory AOS as the drain, and that fitting is right underneath the compressor outlet of the turbo. And so you've got to get the drain down to that fitting, plus with the top mount you have all of the plumbing for the top mount intercooler. It's just sitting right there above all of that plumbing. So there's a lot of things now wrestling for space underneath the top-mounted intercooler. So just be aware that there's going to be some extra complexity. Give yourself some extra time and make sure that you're not pinching anything. As you're trying to get the top mount on, you're not loosening some other fitting or pulling the drain off, etc. So just be aware there's some extra complexity there. So, but now on to how do we configure it? Well, the simple answer for this car is the AOS is configured in the Recirc style. The reason is it's a street car, it has to pass emissions, needs to be emissions compliant, and so what that means is that all of those spent exhaust gases from the crankcase have to be contained in the engine, and so Recirc was the way to go. Now there's some benefits to doing that. The biggest one is if you're not changing the configuration of the PCV system, you don't have to be tuned for it. So you can just install the AOS in the Recirc configuration, and because you're not changing basically the flow of crankcase gas, you don't have to get a custom tune for it. That can be a big advantage as far as the simplicity and as far as the cost goes. The other advantage is in the Recirc configuration, you're basically sending the gas from the AOS back into the inlets, back into the turbo inlet, and there is going to be some kind of positive pull or vacuum from that inlet on the AOS and on the PCV system. So in the Recirc configuration, you're going to have a little bit of positive movement to pull that exhaust gas out of the crankcase. And so that also is an advantage. Now, the PCV valve, whether or not it's present, has an effect on that also to an extent. And if you're really considering that, that would be something to look at with whichever manufacturer. Now, IAG retains the PCV valve, Radium does not. So in this configuration, the PCV valve is completely removed. So that's just something to bear in mind. Now, on the Pikes Peak car, that's a race car. It's got a cage in it, basically it's never driven on the street. So for that car, what we did with IAG is we went with the competition or the atmospheric Air Oil Separator. Now there's a couple reasons for that. The biggest one is when you have the PCV system that's going into this can, if you release it to the atmosphere, now you have to, in doing so, you're completely separating the PCV system from the inlet track. If you've watched our video on the PCV system, you've seen there's a lot of complexity there. There's a lot of hoses, a lot of clamps, a lot of fittings. If you have a Recirc PCV system, if you have any kind of failures or leak points in any part of the PCV system, that's a vacuum leak, because ultimately that gets pulls air back into the turbo inlet, and especially if you have a turbo Subaru that's mass airflow based, or any car that's mass airflow based, any kind of a failure in the PCV system would cause running drivability issue or an extreme possibly engine damage because you have a vacuum leak. Now, that's rare, but it can happen. And when you have a race car that's being pushed hard, you're constantly, taking parts on, putting parts off, there's always that possibility of forgetting a hose, failure, etc. And to know that the PCV system is now completely separated from the inlet track, and so any kind of a failure of that PCV system won't have an effect on the running of the car, that's an advantage. The other part of it is, in doing so, in removing the PCV system from the inlet side of the car, basically with the factory configuration or with the Recirc configuration, there's some amount of spent exhaust gas that's getting pulled into the inlet. It's a small percentage, but call it 3 or 5%. Well, that's always there in the background with the recirculating PCV or the factory PCV, and so all of the calibrations for the stock tune, any kind of a aftermarket tune for that mass airflow sensor is going to account for that small percentage of dead air. But on the race car, we don't want any air that's not usable. We want a full usable intake charge, and so going with an atmospheric AOS, not only does that give us the ability to remove the chance of a failure or a problem because of a failed PCV line, but also all of the air that's going through the mass airflow sensor and going into the engine is now fresh and usable because we're not diluting it with some kind of spent exhaust gas from the crankcase. So for the race car, that's what made the most sense. For the street car, that has to be emissions compliant, and we want to make sure that we're getting some movement of the crankcase out. The Recirc configuration made the most sense. So that's how we made our decisions. Hopefully that helps you make a decision as far as what's going to be best for your car. So what's up next for us? Well, there's a few other things we're working on this car, and again, have the little gauge on the oil filler cap. So we're going to drive around with the Radium AOS, kind of see what's going on with the crankcase, and hopefully get out to the track here in a few weeks and have a better experience than last time. So we're doing some more testing, but there's still more to come as far as what we've done to this car. And again, you know, hopefully we'll have some good track video for you here in a few weeks. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for your support. We really do appreciate it. And stay tuned for more Flatirons tuning tech tips.